Good evening and welcome to the Hungaroring round 10 of the MSC F1 Fanatec Podium series. This legendary track known as Monaco without the walls is tight, technical and unforgiving. A place where overtakes are rare, strategy is king and only the brave survive. We arrive here with just 4 rounds to go and the championship picture is on a knife's edge. Tom Hackett has been dominant all season, leading with 184 points, but tonight the story takes a dramatic twist. Hackett is not racing tonight. That means his nearest rival Sponge is in the Red Bull, has a golden opportunity to strike back and close that 57-point gap. Behind him, Moonrider and Mirko know that if they deliver in Hungary, their title hopes could suddenly come roaring back to life. Let me get you the current driver standings again. With you, there we go. So let's also not forget the Constructor Championship. Mercedes leads the way, but Williams, Red Bull and Ferrari are locked in an all-out dogfight, separated by just a handful of points. A strong result tonight could flip the standings upside down. The format today is short qualifying followed by a 50% distance race, meaning every lap, every move and every pit stop will count more than ever. The margins are razor thin, the tension is sky high again, and the chance to change the course of season 6 lies right here at the Hungaroring. So buckle up, because this is round 10 of the MSC F1 Fanatec Podium series. With Hackett's absent, the door is wide open and the battle begins now. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. The microphone was on mute. Fuck's sake. We are back in 5 minutes for the Grand Prix of the Hungaroring. So let's rewind a little bit back to qualifying. We saw Ed Veer starting his hot lap as last, jumping from P4 to P2. And Ginaudi jumps to P3, kicks back Wellsponge to a P4. And he was standing before on a P2. And for Wellsponge is a normal, important Grand Prix today, as Tom Hackett is not racing, the leader in the Drivers' Championship today, and Wellsponge is on a P2 and starting the Hungaroring on a P4. Wellsponge will definitely not be happy with that, as we know the Hungaroring is not made for overtakes. It's only on the straights with the help of the US, and the rest is going to be tricky and very hard for Wellsponge. So this requires a lot of hard work from Wellsponge today. Did make the qualifying really nice with my voice with the commentary, but fortunately my microphone was on mute, so I do apologize, lads, for that. And now it's waiting for the green lights of the FIA for the formation lap. We saw Adams struggling today to set a good lap in the short qualifying here in MSC F1 today. But we saw a great lap from Smokey on P1. For a moment we thought that Wellsponge stayed on P2, but he got kicked back to P4. So my eyes are for sure on Wellsponge today, as this man can still make the championship title fight a lot more exciting as it is now standing. Tom Hackett is not racing today. 4 more rounds to go, so we can definitely close that gap to Tom Hackett today. So as we are speaking, formation lap still did not start it. So let me get you another time the currently driver standings and the constructor standings with you as formation lap is kicking off. Tom Hackett, as I said, on P1 with a 184 points. Sponge on P2 with a 127. Moomin Rider on P3 with a 120 points. Mirko on P4 with a 114 points. Nicky on P5, also not driving today, with 108 points. Viper Gaming is racing today, starting on P10 with 105 points. Jaxi on P7, Edvi on P8, Smokey on P9, Ginaudi on P10, Arthur on P11, Crytek on P12, Johnny Bart on P13, Alfie on P14, Jonathan Cool, well known as Daddy Cool, on P15, did retire from the season, currently on P15 with 19 points. Cam McKenzie on P16, Pascal Curran on P17, Angry Badger on P18, Bailey McDonald on P19 and Sydney on P20. Both Kick Saubers are doing the championship with 0 points. As we are heading back to the live stream where formation lap is going on. So Adams on P9. In the haze. And we have Smalley, of course, the Dutchman in the Alpine on P14. Drivers are lining up. Formula Smokey, Edvir, Ginaudi and Will Sponge. Moomin Rider right behind, and the two Red Bull Visa Cash can make the ultimatum today with a perfect team strategy. So we're gonna see what is gonna be the outcome of that. As we are starting the Grand Prix, it's 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. Smokey the Goon has a perfect start. Edvir cannot catch up to that. Well, Sponge up to P3 did manage to take 1 spot away. Can he take more? Look what a perfect view there. Moomin Rider still on the inside. Is he capable of doing something into turn 2? Oh, and someone hit each other there. I believe that was Well Sponge and Moomin Rider, as I saw some aerodynamics of the floor coming from the car of Well Sponge in the Red Bull. Hopefully that will not do any harm of Well Sponge. So the two Red Bulls now on P2 and P3. So far, perfect start from everybody. An awesome start from Well Sponge. And there the two McLarens now versus the two Red Bulls versus the two Red Bulls Visa Cash. This is gonna be an insane fight in top of the field. Can imagine that Well Sponge, or Edvir, do apologize, gets the team orders now to let Well Sponge go, as he has a lot to fight for. The US is enabled. I do apologize, lads. I just see that. Alright then. Edvir calling a bit back from Well Sponge now. Everybody's still in a nice train here in Hungaroring, waiting for the DRS train that is coming on the straight as we see the predicted racing strategies going below your screen. And West Point is gonna have soon company from Moonrider as well. Simply task. Make sure you catch Advir, your teammate, as fast as possible. As Smokey the Goon of Formula Smokey, do apologize, sets the fastest lap time with a 1:19.333. Advir is closing in on Formula Smokey. Elfie and Arten, there was going someone wide. Oh, Moonrider is round. Moonrider onto the grass, hits the barrier, and there goes Moonrider from a P4 back to a P12. Looked like a traction mistake coming out of turn 1. Oh, there goes another one. Oh, almost then. Cam McKenzie almost lost it there. Back to Wellsponge. Wellsponge and Advir. Yeah, Advir is losing that DRS. Soon to Formula Smokey. Oh! Oh, there goes Wellsponge! Wellsponge from a P3 up to back to P6. Oh, we said before for Wellsponge, this is an important Grand Prix. Oh, Wellsponge, as we saw some more drivers swapping here in the midfield. Viper Gaming and Crytek next to each other. And there goes Crytek, still has a better exit there. Oh, Wellsponge. Today was your chance to catch up some points to the driver championship leader, Tom Hackett. Oh, but the Grand Prix is far from over, so let's see what he can still do. Advir is up to P1. Advir and Smokey the Goon, Formula Smokey, make a mistake and is back to P5. And there goes your P1 leader in the Grand Prix. Now, ahead of Wellsponge. Both of the drivers make a mistake today here in the Hungaroring. And that means that the teammate of Wellsponge, Advir, is now back up to P1. Can he mean something today for his teammate Wellsponge to give him that maximum points we just talked about, or can he not? Well, he needs for sure to watch out for Gennady today, because this lad is showing some pace as well. And we know Gennady, he will not give up, he will fight for everything that he has in that car, in that orange McLaren. To catch that Red Bull. This is the ultimate fight, the Red Bull versus the McLaren, the fight we want to see in original Formula 1, at least I want to see. But for now the McLarens look faster there, but today we are racing MSC F1, and here everything is possible. So we are witnessing the battle between Gennady and Advir for P1, as we are heading back a little bit further to the field, where Formula Smokey is reporting himself already on P4 to Alfie. I would say P1 to P7, big DRS train, but that's not true, as Cam McKenzie on P3 is already 1.7 seconds behind Gennady. So is Alfie now. Ooh, Formula Smokey trying his luck on Alfie. Is he succeeding? Takes the inside line, and there goes Formula Smokey. Oh, keeps hanging on the rears of Alfie. Not sure who was at fault there, but the stewards definitely gonna have some work today, as Moomin Rider was setting a fastest lap time. Did he go for first set of mediums? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Moomin Rider on a fresh set of medium. Things I want to get out of that chaos up in front. So the battle for P1 is still unfolding, even though Gennady has no DRS anymore. But Cam McKenzie now on P3 is reporting himself at the back of Gennady. So we had before two Red Bulls starting up in front, together with two McLarens, together with two Red Bull Visa Cash. Well, from now until now, the Red Bull Visa Cash is the winner of them all, as they are still currently on a P3 and P4. Viper Gaming is reporting himself at the back of Arten, is next to Arten, going in a very tricky corner next to each other. That's almost impossible. But happy that went well for both of the drivers. So we have some very exciting battles going on at this moment here in the midfield. Up in front between Gennady has catch up some, has closed a bit of the gap to Advir now and is back up to the DRS. DRS is still close though. Whoa! Outbreaks Advir by four tenths there. MG Ryan and Crytek. MG Ryan needed to slow down to let Crytek go. Oh, and there's another mistake from Arten. Arten makes a brake mistake, and there goes Viper Gaming up to P6. Well done from the Aston Martin duo. Started on P10 and P11. This Grand Prix up to P6 and P8. That's how you get the job done. Ooh, well, Sponge needed to slow down there, otherwise he would get the traction of corner cutting. Warning from the FIA. So for now, me as commentator, I think for Well Sponge, maximum possible today is a P4, as Alfie is already 4.3 seconds behind Cam McKenzie's teammate now. But the battle for P1 is still going on here up in front in MSC of 1. Cam McKenzie, Gennady are reporting themselves at the back of Advir. Hoping to force Advir in a mistake today, as we saw some driver swaps here again on P4-5. As I said, the Hungaroring is a very excited Grand Prix always. Drivers stay close to each other, but making an attempt on overtake is very rare. You need to do it on the straights with the help of DRS, so some drivers trying to do the luck there as Viper Gaming losing the rears a bit there, and there goes Will Sponge again! Oh, Will Sponge, what are you doing, man? Oh, throwing the whole championship away today. Well, not away today, you can still earn points, as the whole grid will get points according to MSC, the point system. But oh, he could close the gap to the championship leader Tom Hackett, which is not driving today so much. But he fails in doing so until now. Viper Gaming then on Alfie. Hyper Gaming on Alfie. No, waits for the better of it. Tries to make the switch back on the inside, did not succeed in doing so, so needs to wait for a better opportunity, which is later again on the straight in DRS. With DRS. Well Sponge, DNF, oh well Sponge. Definitely not the Grand Prix that he have wanted to drive today, as Alton gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So with that knowing, Will Sponge possible today of closing the gap to the driver championship leader. Did not succeed, so we are pointing our eyes today on the P1 fight, which is between Advir, Ginaudi and Cam McKenzie. Ooh, Ginaudi and Cam McKenzie going into the pit lane. So now it's Advir. What is Advir going to do? Has he still some grip in those tires to continue for a couple of laps? Let's get the telemetry and see what are his sector times and his lap times. Smalley and Ginaudi, who was going there? Ooh, MG Ryan going round and losing some spots, losing 2 places now, and Smalley is up to P6. Incredible! I don't want this leader, I want the interval. Yeah, here we go. So Advir, what are you gonna do, mate? Are you going into the pit lane? And 2.5 seconds in sector 2, comparing to his best lap time this Grand Prix on his first stint, so I think he should go inside. He should go inside because the other ones are going to catch him. No, he is not. Advir is trying his luck today. Alfie going into the pit lane as well, going for a fresh set of hearts. Viper Gaming continues as he has hearts under his ass now. So this is gonna be exciting. Ginaudi and Cam McKenzie. What are their lap times now? Oh, MG1 gets a 10-second time penalty for driving too hard into the pit lane. MG Ryan is out of the Grand Prix. That means 11 drivers are currently driving and 3 drivers are out. So Advir, 2.7 seconds in sector 2. .7 seconds. As you can see, Viper Gaming 8 paces up, so is Crytek. 3.7. Now it's waiting on Ginaudi. Ginaudi and Cam McKenzie currently with a 119, 20, 119.850. Well, I think Advir should not go too long. We got some driver changings here in the midfield again. That's Alfie coming out of the pit lane. So is Viper Gaming now in the first sets of mediums. Alfie and Smalley. Smalley let Alfie go. As he's on the first sets of hard, so pace going to be a lot of different. Kamikaze reporting himself at the back of Ginaudi. We didn't saw any different the first 11 rounds. And with Advir now, Smalley gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Advir goes continue for another lap. Not sure if that is a smart choice from Advir today. Smalley and Moomin Rider swap positions. Smalley back up to P8. Ooh, Alton goes wide. And there comes Ginaudi, closing that gap. Look at what a beautiful sky view here that the F1 25 game is giving us. Ginaudi needs to bail out a bit there, but there goes Alton wide, and there goes Ginaudi. Ginaudi up to P2. Well done from Ginaudi there as Alton runs wide in that corner there. And loses as well the spot to Kamikaze. And Ginaudi says thank you, so does Kamikaze. Alton loses 2 places, but is going into the pit lane for a fresh set of hearts. And there goes Advir. Oh, Advir in the pit lane, and as I said, on P1, and loses the places to Ginaudi and Kamikaze due to driving too long on the sets of mediums, and he loses a lot more places. Up to P5 now, Advir. Too long driven on the sets of mediums, but might find that pace back in the end of this Grand Prix, as the other drivers up in front now have set already 4 laps on the set of hards. Viper Gaming and Advir. Viper Gaming and Alfie, I do apologize. Viper Gaming closing a bit that gap, gets now the help of DRS on the straight, burning down the battery. Gonna be an easy catch for Viper Gaming, as I said. And Viper Gaming up to the podium today. Oh, is he not? Makes the switch back on the inside line. Oh, wheel to wheel, going into turn 2, and Alfie bails out. Well done from Viper Gaming there on the switch back into turn 1. Jack C. Smalley is into the pit lane. So Moomin Rider versus Crytek. Battle is unfolding. Moomin Rider showed great pace today here in qualifying and in the start of this Grand Prix. But with a traction mistake coming out of turn 1 before, he had damage on his wing which needed to be replaced, as he gets now also a 3-second time penalty. And Kamikaze, the battle for P1 still going on, as we're staying with these gens for now. Kamikaze with a 32% of battery, and Ginaudi currently with a 52% of battery. Alfie and Viper Gaming. Battle for the podium, P3. So lads, if you're watching the stream tonight, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. It's much appreciated. Cam McKenzie losing a bit of pace now, but is still within the DRS range of Gennady. So we'll catch up a bit again, take some of that gap away. As I said, 3/10. Gets now another time DRS. There you go, swing goes open. And goes from 7/10 back to 5/10. Alfie and Viper Gaming, we missed it. Do apologize. Alfie and Viper Gaming. Ooh, Alfie takes the inside line. Once wide. And there comes Viper Gaming again. Ooh, nice battle was that to see. Heading into turn 3. Adveer gets a 3-second time penalty now. Ooh, that can do much harm at the end of this Grand Prix. Alfie gets also a 3-second time penalty for Cam McKenzie, Alfie and Adveer. P2, P4 and P5 currently with time penalties. So is Arten, Moomin Rider and Smalley. So only 4 drivers on the grid with no time penalties currently. 5, do apologize. Jack C lost the connection, I see, because that's driving an AI. Back to Adveer and Alfie. "19 laps completed, 16 laps to go, so we are now at the half of this Grand Prix. Moomin Rider has the fastest lap time in the McLaren with a 1:18.301. Did do that before on the fresh sets of mediums. Does do it now again on a fresh set of hards. Oh, and Alfie almost losing the wheels there. And Adveer looking for an opportunity to make an attempt. Well, that opportunity is soon gonna come as they are heading into the straight. Where comes the help of DRS for Adveer? Catching up 3/10 now, so there goes Adveer. Adveer has another time DRS now. Oh, Alfie puts it in between it there. Ooh, Alfie breaks late, showing some balls of steel here today in the Hungaroring, and leaves it on a P4. Says to Adveer, no, not now. Oh, Adveer running wide. Cam McKenzie still in striking distance of Gennady with the help of DRS, still in the DRS range, but is close of not being so. Ooh, Cam McKenzie, as we said, out of the DRS range now. Gennady showing some great pace here today in the McLaren. So as we are watching to the leaderboard, currently Adveer and Alfie in the battle for P4, and Arten and Crytek in the battle for P7. As we are staying for now with Adveer and Alfie. Arten and Crytek. Crytek switch back on the inside line. Takes the DRS, no doesn't. Arten still has, so it was an overtake from Arten there for P7. Crytek tries to crawl back, but is not able to doing so. And sees Arten slowly disappear. As we see Cam McKenzie slowly crawling also back into the DRS range, which he is still not. But Gennady has still plenty of battery left. Oh, Cam McKenzie! Cam McKenzie went round. Oh, now it's gonna be a very easy thing for Gennady. Just bring that car home, man. It is gonna be an easy P1 for Gennady today here in the Hungaroring. He fight for it, the first 50% of this Grand Prix. Now he does not need to take any more risk. He has later even has time to go back to a set of softs to set the fastest lap time if he continues driving like this. But oh, Cam McKenzie. Runs wide, and there goes Cam McKenzie. DNFs, 4 driver DNF today. 10 drivers still going on. Smalley says thank you to Cam McKenzie. So does Jack C for the extra points. So only battle on track today, or for now, is Adveer versus Alfie, still going for the podium. Adveer, we know he started on P1. Alfie didn't start on P1, gets P1. Was driving for a long time on P1 today. Made a mistake by going too long on a set of mediums, while the others went into the pit way 4 laps earlier to change for a set of hards. But still did a great job now to crawl back up to the podium. As I believe, if I'm correct, he came out of the pits from P1 back up to P6. So I'll remove all the extra data for you. To see the maximum of this fight, the fight for P3 podium places today. Adveer versus Alfie. There comes Adveer. Oh, reporting himself at the rear wing with DRS now, and there goes Adveer. Has another time DRS now. Alfie trying to make the switch back, which is not succeeding, and there go first round. Adveer is round. Oh, what have we saw some drivers making some terrible mistakes today for valuable points. We saw Sponge, we saw Cam McKenzie, and now Adveer is following. Still on the P5 though, still within striking distance of Arten on P4, so that's then even very great to tell. And that gives an extra chance to Formula Smokey, which started on pole position today. Back up to the podium spot on P3, now looking at the rear wing of Alfie on P2. So only lost 1 places if he will succeed in keeping that car there where it is right now. Adveer and Arten. Ooh, Arten runs wide. Adveer takes the inside line, gets now the help of the DRS. Burning the battery down, even though he has not much more left now. Next to each other, Arten brakes late. Tries to take the outside line, which can be faster here, but it is not this time. So Adveer back up to P4. After making a mistake, fighting for P3. So the only battle going on right now is between P3 and P2. Alfie versus Formula Smokey. Formula Smokey. Oh, Arten and Adveer still switching positions there. Arten back up to P4 and Arten runs wide again. We saw Arten running already wide very couple of times in that corner. As I still remember my Grand Prix here in Hungaroring. It was between Demir on P2 in that moment, I believe, Phoenix Grey, and myself on P4. And I went up to podium because of Demir heading into the last round. Get that 3-second time penalty, I still remember it good. So we got now Moomin Rider Arten and Viper Gaming fighting for P5. That still is an exciting ongoing battle. And we got Alfie on P2, but we saw that Formula Smokey on P2 and the Williams had some crazy pace today, also in qualifying. So I'm not expecting much happening there for P2 anymore. So we are staying with Arten and Moomin Rider and Viper Gaming. Don't forget, Arten has still the DRS of Adveer. So it's gonna be a DRS train of 4 drivers, and there goes the move! There goes Moomin Rider again! Moomin Rider for the 2nd time goes round here in the Hungaroring Grand Prix. First on the exit of turn 1 and now on the exit of turn 14 heading onto the straight. Oh, we saw some terrible mistakes from drivers today here in Hungaroring. Very sad for Moomin Rider though, as he's definitely deserving it though, as there goes Arten wide. Oh, almost touches Viper Gaming there. Losing the complete race. You see that how drivers are struggling currently on the 12 laps old of hards. We saw drivers before on 11 laps old of mediums. This track is asking so much from your tires, so much degradation. Especially if you got a setup that is on performance of aerodynamica, so no top speed, more grip in the corners. As we are watching Viper Gaming reporting himself at the back of Adveer now, and there goes Viper Gaming with the help of the DRS. So Viper Gaming up to P4, 28 laps have been driven And now still 6-7 going on. 7 laps to go. Krajicek and Arten into the pit lane. Doesn't want to take any more risks. Just want to drive out this Grand Prix. The man in the red. Still on P8, so still valuable points he can take today with him. Let me watch back to the current standings where Arten is standing, as I did not follow so much anymore the F1 side. Arten separated from Gennady with 3 points, but Gennady is calling out right now. But still has a lot of opportunity this season, until the end of this season. SP6 in the Drivers' Championship is still within reach for Arten. Tom Hackett watching the stream, seeing that Wells Sponge has a DNF after his name. Well, I think he's laughing his ass off. So 4 Grand Prix still going on in MSC F1 in Season 6. If Tom Hackett is driving next race, he is not capable of being crowned already as a driver champion in MSC F1 in Season 6. He still needs to wait for another round. But it's becoming very tight here now. As we're coming closer to the end of the season. So, staying with your driver, the leader in the Grand Prix today, I should say. Do apologize, lads. Gennady in the McLaren showed some crazy pace today. Sets himself on P3 in the qualifying. And due to other drivers' mistakes, we saw Cam McKenzie right behind Gennady, stayed there for almost half of the Grand Prix. Made a mistake coming in onto the straights in the Hungaroring. Makes a traction mistake and is round. Which gives Gennady an advantage of 8 seconds. And after that it was just an easy task for Gennady. Drive to the orange car home. No more risk. Just comfortable driving. Viper Gaming still in the battle for P3, still in the battle for podium. With the help of DRS, and there goes Viper Gaming. Viper Gaming up to P3. Viper Gaming in the Aston Martin, 31 laps completed, 4 laps to go. Arten and Krajicek. Arten and Krajicek switch positions. Yeah, Arten has now a better pace now with a fresh set of mediums. Viper Gaming, what's happening with Viper Gaming? Reporting himself at the back of Formula Smoky now on P2. Viper Gaming found some pace back. Well, yeah, Gennady, Formula Smoky on P1 and P2, 20 laps driven on the set of hards. And there comes Viper Gaming, driven 7 rounds. on a set of hearts. And there goes Viper Gaming. Viper Gaming versus Formula Smokey in the Williams. Here comes Viper Gaming. Formula Smokey brakes late. He does brakes late. Better grip. There comes Viper Gaming. Bails out another time. Waits for the better of it. So Viper Gaming waiting for a better attempt now, which is going to be again on the straights. So try to come a bit of closer now. Viper Gaming now 4-10 separate the man on P3 and P2. And there comes Formula Smokey. Tries to swing a bit, but knows that is not allowed, so only does it once. Takes the inside line, but there goes Viper Gaming. As I said, sometimes that's the battle line here in Hungaroring, turn 1. Viper Gaming playing a bit with his rear wing. Now Formula Smokey with 22 laps old under his ass. Hearts not gonna do much anymore this Grand Prix. Heading back to the leader in the Grand Prix, man in the orange, Gennady. Raced one of his best Grand Prix this season, I think so. Half of the Grand Prix in a fight with Cam Mackenzie, but by a mistake of Cam Mackenzie, coming out of the last turn on the straights, he made a traction mistake, as I said, and that gives Gennady an advantage of 8 seconds. Not sure even though if Cam Mackenzie had some damage to the car while he DNF'd. I honestly don't think so. But not that Gennady cares, as it's maximum points for Gennady now, today. As he is going into his last lap, and this is the point. Cam Mackenzie made the mistake. Gennady into the last lap of the Hungary Grand Prix. "24 laps old Hearts under his ass and still managed to take the apex wide. Crazy race for Gennady today, but he nails it. He has nailed it today. said, we still cannot see on his wheel how much percentage his tires are currently, as I'm very curious to see so, but... So, on board with Ginaudi, the leader of the Grand Prix, and soon the winner of the Grand Prix. The man from the Netherlands, the man in the orange, comes across the line in lap 35 of the Hungary Grand Prix and wins the Grand Prix of round 10 MSC F1 Fanatec Podium Series. Viper Gaming is up to P2. Well done from Viper Gaming as well. Formula Smokey makes a nice drift there and is up to P3, starting from pole position today. Alfie is up to P4 and the Red Bull Visa Cash. Moomin Rider is up to P5. Arten is up to P6. Advir coming across the line up to P7. Crytek coming across the line up to P. No, loses a spot to Crytek due to too many time penalties. Smalley up to P9. Still a nice performance from Smalley, even though I need to say is my dad. But yeah, what you need to say with 4 people DNFing this race. So yeah, Smalley has how many time penalties? Smalley has standing 6 seconds. That's not gonna do any harm. So Smalley in the Alpine on P9, and Jaxi driving a long time, I think already in AI, up on P10. So we saw some incredible action today. We saw some incredible mistakes today. Something I did not expect it, as my eyes were fully obtained to El Sponge. But he really, I do need to say, mate, really disappointed me today as the leader of the driver championship. Tom Hackett was not driving today. You could close the gap today very easily if you would stay calm. But it did not happen, so no points for Well Sponge, and the gap to the driver championship driver championship leader stays the same. So one more time, the results of the Grand Prix of the Hungaroring: P1 Ginaudi in the McLaren, Viper Gaming on P2 in the Aston Martin, Formula Smokey in the Williams on P3, Alfie in the Visa Cash, App Racing Bulls on P4, Moonrider on P5, Arten on P6, Crytek on P7, Advir and Red Bull on P8, Smalley in the Alpine on P9, Jaxi in the Williams on P10, Cam McKenzie on P11, MG Ryan on P12, Well Sponge DNF'd on P13, Adams on P14, and then we got Smalley on P15. And that was the Hungary Grand Prix for the MSC F1 Fanatec Podium Series, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow we are back for the MSC F1 Club Sport Series, no racing line and medium tractions. Extra exciting. So we all see you back tomorrow at 8 p.m. for maybe a full qualifying, even though I'm not sure if I'm correct. Let me check another time. Dangerous Dave will take the compositions, I think, tomorrow. There's coming a lot of more exciting things for MSC F1. MSC GT3 is also again up in 2 weeks. Then a couple of MSC members are going to the Sim Racing Expo in Dortmund, which of course will be recorded, and we will show you all the nice new upcoming tech, the new wheels, everything we will show you. But that's all for later. For now, I wish you all a great evening and a great night. And for the people that need to work tomorrow, I wish you a lovely day tomorrow on the work. Goodbye.
Feel like I've been locked up tight for a century of lonely nights, waiting for someone to release me. You're licking your lips and blowing kisses my way, but that don't mean I'm gonna give it away, baby, baby, baby. Oh. genie in a bottle, baby. Come and let me out. I'm a genie in a bottle.